So it was a cold Tuesday afternoon at the Berlinale, and I was kicking my heels in the market, looking for something to see that would fill a couple of hours. And I was with Claire Binns, who's the managing director of Picture House, and we happened upon Hotel Salvation, and we thought, oh, sounds quite interesting. And then I suddenly had a light bulb moment because I realised it was an Indian film. And one of the reasons I was at the Berlinale, I was actually looking for films to support the BFI's India on Film project. It was like a major cultural celebration between India and the UK. Anyway, so we went into the cinema. There was just a handful of people in there, and we started watching it, and I was literally blown away. It was such a fabulous little film.
Can you describe for us what you responded to when you saw it, and what did you like about it?
Well, it's a very kind of gentle Indian art house film, and it really follows the ordeal of an overworked modern son who's forced to accompany his 77-year-old father to Varanasi. So the 77-year-old father has a dream in which he feels he is going to die shortly, and he doesn't want to die at home. He wants to go to Varanasi, which is India's most holy city. And so they go to Varanasi, and there's actually a hotel there, Hotel Salvation. Basically, people are allowed to stay in the hotel for 12 days to see if they died during that period. And if they don't die within the 12 days, then they have to move out.
I've just sensed a great plot line for the third episode of Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, though.
Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
मुझे लगता है मेरा वक्त आ गया है और मैं मरने के लिए तैयार हूँ अब। पर मैं यहाँ नहीं मरना चाहता, मैं बनारस चला जाऊँ।
As you said, the son's very busy, and he's lost that ability to look after his father and check in with the family. He's too busy working all the time. And that felt quite universal to me. And I wondered how much those kind of themes are speaking to you when you're thinking about presenting a film from India to a broader audience in the UK.
Yes, those themes absolutely spoke to me, and I felt certain that we could get a younger audience for it as well. When we did some analysis after the release, we found out that there was a good young audience that came to the film. We found that about a third of the audience was new to the BFI South Bank venue,
Really?
which was really, really heartening. And the number of under 25-year-olds who bought tickets was, well, it was the same number as we get on an average week, which was really heartening because the film is about death.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't expect them to chip up
Absolutely.
usually. So
yeah. But that is interesting. I think sometimes we tend to assume that young people only want to see films about young people.
Well, hopefully that debunked that myth. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
कितने दिन लगेंगे? वो सोच समझ के पूछा करो ना। कब लगेंगे, कब मरेंगे? अरे मैं क्या वहाँ जाकर उनका गला घोट दूँ?
I mean, one of the great things about Hotel Salvation as well is we were able to put a short film on the front of it, which came from the collection of the BFI National Archive. And the BFI National Archive have this amazing collection of early Indian films. Robin Baker, the head curator there, pointed out a film to me that had actually been miscatalogued as being of Calcutta, but it wasn't. It was of Varanasi and the Ghats at Varanasi. And this film is about a minute and a half long, and it's just a sweep of the whole riverfront of Varanasi. And we showed this to Shubhashish and to Sanjay, and they just couldn't believe it. The film is from like the early 1900s, and it just really spoke to Hotel Salvation. And it was great that we put that on the front of the film for the release. So again, that was seen all around the UK, and is now on BFI Player as well as part of the India on Film collection.
It's great that you can have that context for the audience, but also for the filmmakers themselves. If
Absolutely,
they're not sure,
yeah. No, they literally couldn't believe it, so they were really excited by it. And Varanasi, it just hasn't changed at all in over 100 years.